90% of Tanzanians have mental health issues. It's because people have a lot going on in their heads that they cannot find solutions to. So what's your take on mental health?
First of all, mental health is a critical issue for leaders and individuals as well. And I would say that it's essential to prioritize self-care and also well-being. And from my end, I believe that, creating a supportive and inclusive work environment is really important for employees to feel comfortable to discussing, mental health concerns, and to also encourage open communications.
Okay.
You have to have an open dialogue as a company. Be transparent on what is it that people are facing in companies. Stress management is also very important. Access to mental health resources is also very important. And I have been lucky, and I've been blessed to work with multinational organizations whereby mental health is really important. So you have so you have platforms that employees can go to talk about mental health, talk about talk to people anonymously about their struggles, their personal struggles, because ultimately your personal life is linked to your professional life. So you can't have you can't say that you have a very unstable personal life and then you have a thriving career. It just goes hand in hand, and mental health comes in place.
One of the things that leads to people having mental health problems is stress. It's a very big issue. So do you get stressed from time to time? And if you do, how do you handle stress?
Stress, as we talked about challenges. The moment you face challenges, it's either you get stressed about it or you think about, okay, now what is the solution? So to me, stress management is critical. It's very important for, especially in the corporate world. You need to, as I said, take care of yourself. Stress management, it could be from, you're in a meeting, something is very stressed, something has just stressed you out, go for like a 5-minute walk and then come back to, therapy. So it's different. It depends on the level of stress that you're also going through.
You have worked for a lot of companies that deals with beverages. There are a lot. The likes Coca-Cola. They have a lot of beverages. A lot of line from water to carbonated soft drinks. You have worked with Heineken, which they have Desperados, they have Heineken, and a lot more. So, if you were a beverage, which beverage would your personality represent, and why?
If I was a beverage,
Yeah,
I would say I'll be tea. I'll surely be tea.
okay.
And why did I choose tea? It's because tea is, I'd say that it's timeless.
Okay.
And tea has been there for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Okay.
And we still consume tea.
Yeah.
And there might be so many, consumer trends, a shift in consumer needs, but tea remains solid.
Yeah.
And to me, I believe that I'm more of an old soul.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about tea, I've lived in Turkey for more than 4 years, and what I realized is the Turkish people, they praise tea so much in such a way that whenever they eat any kind of food without tea, the meal is incomplete.
Okay.
So from breakfast, lunch, dinner, there must be tea. So when you mentioned tea, it really got into my head. Like, tea is the real deal.
There to stay.
So on your daily works that you do, if you could have any superpower to assist you in your daily works, what would it be?
I would say that to understand people much better. I believe that understanding people makes your life easier. So understanding your customers, understanding your employer or your boss, understanding yourself. So to me, if I was to choose a superpower, it would be the ability to understand people, so that I'll be able to go with the demand. Yeah, what's demanded of me, because that will mean that with that superpower, that means I would also be understanding myself even much better, because I'm also a person.
Yeah, that's really nice. So winding up, we have a culture on this podcast whereby a guest leaves a question for the next guest without knowing who they are. And you will also have to answer the question from the previous guest. Yeah. So we have a club called Connectors Club, whereby people come together to connect so that they can learn, they can get those meaningful connections. We also bring different keynote speakers. For example, in our last event, we had Vuthis.
I was there.
Oh, really?
I was actually there.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. We had different speakers based on our event. We once had Musa Zungu, we once had Deogratis Dejembi. So the question is, where do you see MYD podcast as well as Connectors Club in the next 5 years? Where do you see them? And after 5 years, would you be willing to come back here and share your insights then?
In front of me is MYOD. MYOD's goals for 2024. And I'd say that to me, it's more than just a podcast. It's a movement, especially for the youth. And I see that in the next 5 years, you will be a movement for the youth. You'll be an independent voice for the youth, and for them to also gain inspiration. I would say that Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan.
And to me, it's like it's more of an independent media.